Halloween as an American cultural icon. Welcome to my next installment of Unveiling American Cultural Icons, a smaller scope than my full podcast that puts the societal and cultural norms under a microscope, a chance to determine if such icons are good or bad, if they enshrine the greatest part of humanity, and if not, should they be replaced. In my previous editions in the series, I discussed the importance of culture and society. American culture is rich and diverse, shaped by a multitude of historical, social, and global factors. Today, we're talking about Halloween. Not all culture is good, or accents for that matter, in their executions, motivations, significance, or historical context. Even those topics are much lighter fare in comparison to my, hopefully, inspirational video on the United Nations. It really is looking at the world completely different from many people, as well as what comes next on the global stage, and what comes after that. It's a tagline or meme from President Josiah Jed Bartlett, one of many people's favorite TV shows, Aaron Sorkin's classic The West Wing, deftly performed by Martin Sheen. It's an acceptance that there's always something new to draw your attention, and every plan requires a solid, thought-out strategy to bring it to fruition. Both accepted definition and views are now SOP and policy in the Biden White House. If you're willing to accept a new way of life, take the red pill and see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Watch that video next. But now for some Halloween and its mostly benign stories in history. Mostly benign. And to cover this topic properly, this is a full-length video, not like the other shorts in this podcast on society and culture. Most everyone loves the fun and spectacle of Halloween, with its unique customs, frivolity, and spookiness, and fear. This holiday stands apart from other holidays and most other celebrations. In ways, Halloween is a celebration of life, of death, and everything in between. An acceptance of fate, if but for one evening. But our modern holiday looks nothing like the traditional holiday. So let's unpack this historical Halloween and how our modern celebrations differ from it. Halloween, as celebrated in the United States, has deep historical roots that can be traced back to the various cultural influences, especially of the Celtic and British Isles. Its origins can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, the day that marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. The Celts believed that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead blurred, allowing spirits to roam freely. To ward off these spirits, the Celts would light bonfires and wear costumes made from animal heads and skins. When the Roman Empire conquered Celtic territories, elements of Samhain merged with the Roman festivals like Feralia and Pomona, contributing to the development of Halloween. The enchanting origins of Halloween, unveiling the ancient Druid and Celtic traditions and their evolution through time. The tradition of carving lanterns also originated with Celts. They carved frightening faces into turnips and later pumpkins to ward off evil spirits and to guide the souls home. Most commonly, this is told through the story of Jack-o'-lantern, a mythical addition to the story of Halloween. As time went on, the Christian holiday of All Hallows Eve, the day before the Roman Catholic All Saints' Day on November 1st and All Souls' Day on November 2nd, merged with this Celtic festival. People began to go door to door, exchanging prayers and sometimes singing for the souls of the departed in exchange for food, drink, and sometimes money, a precursor to modern-day trick-or-treating in a practice known as soling. Another popular tradition was guising, where young people would dress up in costumes and go from house to house, performing for their neighbors in exchange for treats. However, unlike modern Halloween, these costumes were not meant to be scary, but rather represented various characters from plays and folklore. Halloween continued to evolve throughout history, incorporating various costumes and traditions. Festivities like bobbing for apples and telling ghost stories became popular, adding excitement and mystique to this holiday. The migration of the Celtic peoples of the British Isles, mainly of the Irish during the Great Famine, otherwise known as the Irish Potato Famine of the 1840s, brought Halloween to this continent. And like the Mexican Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, these holidays intermingled with other cultural mainstays. The Gilded Age and the occult influence in the late 19th century America. The Gilded Age, which spanned from the 19th century into the early 20th century, was characterized by an unprecedented economic growth and industrialization in the United States. This era also witnessed a growing fascination with the occult and spiritualism, which helped propel Halloween into the American mainstream. Halloween parties and gatherings became fashionable amongst the upper class, where participants would engage in the divination games, tell ghost stories, and attempt to communicate with the spirits. Notably, in the 1890s marked a pivotal period when Halloween started to transition from a largely rural and agricultural celebration to an urbanized and commercialized holiday. The allure of the unknown and the mystique surrounding Halloween's ancient origins helped propel it into the American mainstream. Here's how the interest in the occult, popularized during the Gilded Age, contributed to Halloween's prominence. The Gilded Age saw a rise in the spiritualist movement, a belief system that held that it was possible to communicate with the spirits of the deceased. Mediums and psychics gained popularity during this time, conducting seances and claiming to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. These practices intrigued the public and contributed to a heightened interest in the supernatural. The late 19th century was a period when numerous books on the occult, mysticism, and paranormal phenomena were published. Notable authors like Madame Blavatsky and author Edward Waite wrote extensively on these topics, leading to a wider dissemination of occult ideas and practices. As people delved into these texts, their curiosity about the mysterious and unknown was piqued. As interest in the occult grew, Halloween parties took on a new form during the Gilded Age. These gatherings became more elaborate and incorporated elements of the divination and fortune-telling, reflecting the fascination with the mystical. Partygoers engaged in activities such as mirror gazing, apple bobbing, and card reading, all of which were believed to reveal insights into the future or contact spirits. This infusion of the occult practices into Halloween parties made the holiday more intriguing and attractive. The idea of wearing costumes during Halloween festivities gained popularity during the Gilded Age. Participants would often dress as supernatural or mythological beings, such as witches, ghosts, vampires, echoing the spiritual and otherworldly themes of the era's fascination with the occult. This tradition of donning costumes became a key component of Halloween costumes, as did reading the literature, such as Bram Stoker's original Dracula book and Frankenstein by Shelley. The late 19th century saw an emergence of magazines, newspapers, and popular culture that embraced themes of the occult and mysticism. Halloween-related imagery, stories, and poems began to appear in the publications, further cementing the holiday's connection to the supernatural. For instance, newspapers would run ghost stories and feature Halloween-themed illustrations. The interest in the occult during the Gilded Age was instrumental in shaping Halloween into a holiday that emphasized the mysterious, the otherworldly, and the spiritual. The infusion of spiritualism, divination, and mysticism into Halloween celebrations not only made the holiday more appealing, but also laid the groundwork for its continued evolution in the 20th and 21st centuries as a celebration of the supernatural and the unknown. The next big jump in Halloween's evolution started back in the early 20th century. Universal Studios unleashed a terrifying wave of movie monsters. From Dracula to Frankenstein's creature, these iconic characters captured audiences' imaginations and fueled their fears. Year after year, people began to dress up as their favorite movie monsters for Halloween. It became a tradition to scare and be scared, bringing the nightmares to life. These spine-tingling creatures became the embodiment of Halloween. They added a touch of eerie nostalgia, reminding us of the dark and supernatural side of this bewitching holiday. Universal Studios embraced the legacy of their movie monsters and brought them to life in a truly terrifying way. Halloween Horror Nights, a celebration of all things spooky, became a must-see event for horror enthusiasts worldwide. The haunted houses, inspired by these eerie settings, the iconic films, allowed visitors to step into the shoes of their favorite monsters. It was like being part of a horror movie, only in real life. The screams, the laughter, the adrenaline rush. Halloween Horror Nights became a place where fear and fun collided. It's an experience that continues to captivate both old and new generations of horror lovers. So the next time you see Dracula lurking in the shadows or a Frankenstein monster walking down the street, remember the legacy of Universal movie monsters. They have forever shaped the haunting spirit of Halloween. Halloween, post-World War II, a deep dive into the evolution of the holiday. The period following World War II marked a transformative era for the Halloween in the United States. During this time, the holiday experienced significant growth and underwent a series of changes that laid bare the foundation for the modern celebration as we know it today. Here's a deep dive into Halloween and its evolution post-World War II. The post-World War II years witnessed a rise of consumer culture in America, as well as fears of communism and fascism. The increased purchasing power of the middle class, combined with economic prosperity, led to a surge in spending on goods and services. Halloween was not exempt from this trend, as it became a commercialized holiday. Retailers recognized the potential for profit and began mass-producing costumes, decorations, and candy. The commercialization of Halloween introduced a wide array of consumer products, making it easier for people to participate in the festivities. The post-war period also saw a significant shift in population from urban centers to suburban areas. The suburbanization played a pivotal role in popularizing trick-or-treating. Suburbs provided a safe and tightly knit community environment that was also conducive to the practice of children going door to door to collect candy. The tradition of trick-or-treating became a hallmark of Halloween during this time and remains a cherished part of the holiday today. Halloween's evolution was heavily influenced by television and media, and specifically the concerns, fears, and worries about communism and fascism that guided modern America after World War II. Iconic TV specials such as It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, became annual traditions, bringing Halloween into the living rooms of millions of Americans. The programs contributed to the establishment of specific Halloween traditions, such as pumpkin carving and costume parties. Moreover, the proliferation of horror movies and pop culture figures in post-war era introduced new costume ideas and themes. The United States, post-World War II, experienced increased immigration from various parts of the world. This infusion of diverse cultural influences began to shape Halloween. Traditional costumes from different cultures began to make appearances, expanding the range of costumes beyond the classic ghosts and witches. Additionally, communities embraced multicultural festivals and events, recognizing the importance of including all in the Halloween celebrations. In post-World War II era also saw the commercial haunted houses and other spooky attractions, adding an element of thrill and fear to Halloween festivities. These attractions became a staple of the holiday, attracting people of all ages. Halloween also evolved as an adult celebration, with costume parties, masquerade balls, and themed events became popular. This broadened the holiday's appeal beyond just children, making it fun and creative occasion for all. Post-World War II Halloween saw the emergence of DIY, do-it-yourself culture. People began crafting their own costumes and decorations, unleashing their creativity and individuality in the process. This DIY ethos continues to shape the Halloween today, with many individuals and families taking pride in crafting and baking unique costumes and haunted house setups. In conclusion, post-World War II America saw Halloween evolve from a primarily child-centered holiday to a celebration embraced by people of all ages. The commercialization of the holiday, the influence of television and media, the growth of suburban communities, and the incorporation of diverse cultural elements all contributed to the Halloween we know today. It remains a dynamic and ever-evolving holiday that continues to adapt to the changing cultural landscapes while retaining its core elements of creativity, fun, and a touch of the macabre. The evolution of Halloween, from the 1960s to today. Following World War II, Halloween experienced a significant resurgence and transformation in the United States. The post-war economic boom of the baby boom generation played a crucial role in shaping Halloween into the holiday we know it as today. The 1950s and 60s witnessed the Munsters and the Addams Family adding to its appeal. Did you know that Halloween came a long way since the 1960s? Let's take a spooky trip down memory lane and discover how this holiday has grown both in the United States and worldwide. Back in the 1960s, Halloween celebrations were focused on children and involved traditional activities like trick-or-treating, where kids would visit nearby homes for candy. But as the years went by, Halloween became more popular amongst adults. While horror movies focused especially on the macabre and spooky themes, as well as anti-communism in the early 50s and 60s, something changed in the mid to late 60s, specifically with the resurgence of equal rights in America and the civil rights movement itself. Wiccas, self-proclaimed witches, started moving to places like Salem and to places like New Orleans, places that have been traditionally known for their unique brutality in the past. At one point in time in Salem's history, nearly 200 people were accused of being witches. Wiccans moved to these places to take up the mantle and to tell a different narrative on equality, on freedom, representing how the Salem witch trials, as an example, was not only bad for the victims, but for the country in general. This also came at the same time that mass media was producing TV shows like Bewitched, which actually filmed in Salem. By the 1970s, Halloween parties started to emerge with costumes, decorations, and even themed drinks. The holiday evolved beyond just trick-or-treating, and people began to embrace the spooky spirit. But it wasn't until the 1980s that Halloween truly exploded in popularity. Movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th captivated audiences, and the holiday became a cultural phenomenon. Suddenly, Halloween wasn't just about dressing up. It was about creating the perfect horror movie experience. As we entered the 1990s, Halloween became more of a commercialized holiday. Stores started selling a wide array of costumes, decorations, and even specialized treats, making it easier for everyone to join in the fun. Halloween became a huge industry, with billions of dollars being spent every year. And now, in the 21st century, Halloween has taken the world by storm, in part thanks to Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings.
Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie. Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie. Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie. Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie. Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie. Buy some popcorn, buy a Coke. Now enjoy the rest of the movie.
It's not just an American tradition anymore. Countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia have embraced the holiday as well. Halloween has been a global celebration of all things spooky and fun. So as you can see, Halloween has grown and evolved over the years. From a simple children's holiday in the 60s to a worldwide phenomenon, it continues to captivate people of all ages. In recent decades, Halloween has continued to evolve, incorporating a wide range of traditions and practices, from elaborate haunted houses to adult costume parties. Halloween has also embraced cultural influences, reflecting the multicultural fabric of modern America. Today, Halloween in the United States is a complex blend of ancient Celtic roots, the elegance of the Golden Age, and the post-World War II consumer culture. It has expanded its influence globally, becoming a widely celebrated holiday with a rich history and diverse traditions that appeal to people of all ages and backgrounds. Halloween in the United States is characterized by a unique blend of customs and practices that have evolved over centuries. The most recognizable aspects of Halloween include dressing up in costumes, carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns, trick-or-treating, and decorating homes with spooky themes. Children and adults alike embrace the opportunity to become something else for a day, often opting for ghoulish, humorous, or pop culture-inspired costumes. Trick-or-treating remains a cherished tradition where children go door to door in their neighborhoods, seeking candy from their neighbors. Haunted houses, hay rides, and spooky-themed parties are also popular activities during the Halloween season. Halloween has had a profound impact on American culture and society. It is a time when communities come together, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. The celebration of Halloween also has a significant economic impact. people spending billions of dollars on costumes, decorations, and candy. Businesses, particularly those in the retail and entertainment sectors, heavily rely on Halloween season for increased sales and revenue. Furthermore, Halloween has influenced various forms of media, from literature to film and television. Classic horror stories and movies often take center stage during the season, further embedding the themes of fear and the supernatural in American culture. Iconic symbols like witches, vampires, zombies, and ghosts have become synonymous with Halloween, finding their way into popular culture year-round. In recent decades, Halloween has transcended its American roots and gained popularity on the global stage. The globalization of Halloween can be attributed to the widespread influence of American, Irish, and British pop culture, including movies, televisions, and the internet. In many countries, Halloween has become a celebrated holiday marked by costume parties, haunted attractions, and to a lesser extent, trick-or-treating. The importance of Halloween on a global scale lies in its ability to bridge cultural gaps and foster a sense of unity and fun among people of diverse backgrounds. It offers a unique opportunity for individuals to express their creativity and imagination, celebrating a holiday that transcends linguistic and cultural barriers. It's really one of the only holidays in the world without specific religious or national connotations. Today, Halloween has become a time for creativity and fun. People of all ages dress up in costumes, go to parties, and participate in haunted attractions. It's a night or season of embracing the spooky, the supernatural, and the mysterious. And the equality and freedom that anonymity brings with mask wearing allows a much more just celebration than its ancestral origins. Halloween, with its rich history, unique practices, and far-reaching impact, have become an iconic part of world culture. Its influence has extended well beyond the U.S., making a global phenomenon that brings people together in fun and imagination. As a testament to its enduring significance, Halloween continues to thrive as a cultural icon, both in the United States and around the globe, uniting people in celebration and creativity. Through its unique history and the building up of traditions over time from disparate sources, Halloween remains, in its essence, a secular holiday with a defined tone, a form of accepted and even appreciated counterculture, with those threads from the 1960s carrying on to this day. Halloween, by its very essence, is something that has been created not only by individuals, but by companies, by various societies, all melding and merging traditions from various places together. It's a holiday that will never stay the same, that will always grow and evolve as long as people appreciate the idea of what the holiday represents. Something outside of the normal cultural bounds, and stands as a mirror, a stark contrast to how societies run, how culture and society runs every other day of the year. Since its early days in Celtic Ireland and Britain, Halloween, at its core, remains both repudiation and celebration of mortality, morality, society, culture, and religion. A holiday of counterculture in one of the largest consumer holidays of the modern era. A contradiction to both past and present. An opportunity to ask the big questions of why we're all here, what happens to us after we die, and a political statement to poke fun at perceived injustices. For other than prayer, the best way to honor the preciousness of life is to have some fun. Accept the inevitable, accept a little managed fear in our lives, and do any of us really need an excuse to eat more candy? And there you have it, the enchanting origins of Halloween. From the ancient Druid and Celtic traditions to the modern day celebrations we all know and love. We hope you enjoyed this journey through the evolution of Halloween. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights. Happy Halloween!